Alright guys, it is now finally time for that Q&A video that I promised 2 weeks ago, but before you think that this is just going to be that normal YouTuber or tech YouTuber Q&A with all the scripted questions and all the scripted answers, that is not what we're doing today. Like I said on the Instagram post and the YouTube community post and whatnot, I have 116 questions here that you guys asked me, and I have a random number generator that I'm gonna click for every single question, and I'm gonna answer it no matter what. I did scrub through like the ridiculous questions, but this is the best way for me to give you 100% raw, uncut answers, and I haven't looked at these answers since you guys asked them 2 weeks ago, so they're not fresh in my mind or anything. So you're gonna get nothing but the truth. I'm super excited for this. This is just gonna be way better than that scripted type of Q&A video, so I hope you guys enjoy it. Let's get into it. All right, so to start off this Q&A, I just want to give you a couple quick rules for this Q&A. First, like I said, I'm not going to edit the video. If you do see an edit, then that means one of my dogs got starving and was crying for food, or someone knocked on my door or something. I'm not going to edit the video for any type of question related incidents, but just if I have to, I will. And then number 2 is I'm going to try and get through as many questions as possible in about 20 minutes. I got the timer going over here, so we definitely have enough questions for like maybe 2 or 3 parts. So make sure you guys let me know down in the comment section if you want to see more of this uncut style of Q&A video. So I'm super excited. So 116 questions here, and let's just start with, can you guys see this? Yeah. Let's just start with the first one. 1 out of 116, number 66 is the first question. So number 66 is, everybody asks Zach, what are you? Or Zach, do you ... but not Zach, how are you? That's actually a really nice question to ask to start off this Q&A video. I'm doing great. As you can probably tell, I'm super fired up, super loud to be making this video. I've been so excited to make this for the last 2 weeks. Sorry that it has been taking 2 weeks, but yeah, I'm super excited. Thank you for asking me how I am. All right, next question is number 47. What's your favorite movie? I hate this one. So, a little bit of a backstory real quick. I'm actually one of those guys who I don't see a lot of movies. Like, just to name a few that I haven't seen: Forrest Gump, Ghostbusters, The Goonies. Like, there's a lot of those type of popular videos or movies that everyone has seen, and I never saw. It's because I didn't watch movies as a kid. I was always watching sports or playing video games. So I don't really have a favorite movie that I can think of. It's probably a sports movie or maybe a Rocky movie. I really like Remember the Titans. I'm a big Denzel Washington fan. I really like Training Day. And I like a lot of war movies. So sports and war movies and action movies are probably my favorite. But if I had to narrow it down, I would narrow it down to a series, and that's the Fast and the Furious series, which I know might make some of you cringe. But yeah, I really like, my favorite type of movie is 6 stars to 7 stars on IMDb and action. So it's not rated high enough to be artsy or get any awards. It's just pure action, but it doesn't suck. It's not like below 6 on IMDb. So yeah, that's what I like. Sorry, I can't give you a straight answer. All right, the next question is 110. This is, I think, a Discord question. How old are you, and how long ago did you start YouTube? I'm 27 years old, and I started YouTube in, I think my first video was in 2015. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. So I've been doing this for probably not 4 years. I've probably been doing this for 3 years at this point. But like everyone, or pretty much everyone else, when you first start, like, I was uploading like 1 video or like 2 videos a month. So I wouldn't say I really started till last year. Last year was when I really hunkered down, started making all this content, started putting money into my studio and whatnot. But yeah, 27 years old. Next question is, can you guys still see? Yeah, 102. 102 is a Twitter question. Who is your best friend? Shout out to Balf. You know who you are. I don't think there's really much else to say. Oh, that green Lamborghini that used to be in my intro video, I actually rented that for my best friend because he was getting married, and that was his bachelor party, and that was my gift to him for choosing me as being his best man. So quick little fun fact for you. Next question is 43. Reason you got into PC gaming. So my parents, when I was young, they had a PC consulting business that they ran out of their basement, which is super ironic because I have a PC consulting, but like 2019 consulting via YouTube channel business down here in my basement. So it's pretty crazy that 20 years later, I'm kind of doing the same thing that they were doing 20 years ago. But yes, that's probably what got me into it. When I just remember, as far back as I can remember, I would go down to the PCs in there and I would install PC games. And all the kids around me were playing like the N64s and whatnot. And I never had any of those Nintendo consoles and whatnot. I just wanted to play everything on PC. And just like back then, I didn't really have too many friends that played PC. They all played consoles. And same thing today. Not that many people around me in my life play PCs. So, but yeah, that's probably how I started. Next question is 79. Which game do you play the most? Right now I'm addicted to The Division 2. I literally just started playing like 2 weeks ago when it came out, and I just got done playing like 5 minutes ago before making this video. Really digging The Division 2, but probably played the most is like Call of Duty or Madden, which are also like, I hate that I'm the Call of Duty, Madden, Fast and the Furious type guy, but I just am. I like action. So yeah, it's The Division 2 right now, but Destiny 2 also took up a lot of my time, but I haven't played that for a while. I just don't really play games that much. In 2019, it's almost April, 4 months, or it's been 3 full months. I probably have 15 hours of gaming, like outside of benchmarking. So I don't really game that much anymore. I wish I did. Question number 88. What was your first console and do you have any talents? That's a weird double question. My first console was the Xbox. I think my dad bought me an Xbox. Yeah, my parents bought me an Xbox. So yeah, like I said, I missed all that like GameCube, PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, just because I was playing the PC. But I did eventually get an Xbox, and I actually bought an Xbox because I think at the time I really wanted to play a baseball game, and they weren't making baseball games for the computer, I think that's how I remember it. But I mean, this was back when Xboxes were, we bought the Xbox when it was pretty new. So yeah, what was the other part of this question? Do you have any talents? I don't know if it's a talent, but my parents used to always tell me that I was going to end up being an infomercial actor on TV. They said that I could always pitch products really well, which is insanely ironic considering I don't really pitch products, but I review products on my YouTube channel. So that might be a talent. I don't really think I'm that good at it. I still think that I'm growing just like all the other YouTubers are. You know, you get better at it as you go, but they always told me I had a talent for it. Yeah, I guess maybe. I love sports, but I don't really have any talent. So, question number 73. AMD or Intel? So, speaking of which, did you guys see that I have my AMD wall over here and my Intel wall? Oh, now I'm starting to... The AMD wall is way bigger than the Intel wall, but I don't have a preference. I think AMD and Intel both have really good value depending on what you're looking for, and that typically goes for, there's 2 types of AMD value. That's if you want a lot of cores for something like a server or some type of multimedia creation, anything that can utilize like 8 cores and 16 threads is typically what I think of when I hear AMD Ryzen 7s, you know, but obviously they have Threadripper for even more. But the other type of AMD value is budget. And if you want to build a budget PC, but new, then I will always, or I'm not going to always recommend, but I have been recommending Ryzen for so long now because simply because of the AM4 socket. You can buy a budget new CPU now and stay in that socket for another 2 years for Ryzen 3 and Ryzen 4 or Zen 2. And I just think that's a really good investment. However, Intel, bar none, has better single clock performance, which typically means better performance in games. So if you only care about gaming. And I think Intel's really good for that mid-range, like the i5 8400 type range. Like if you want to spend like $200-ish, I think you should go Intel. But then again, if you want to stream, maybe you want to go Ryzen because of having extra threads and extra cores. So I'm definitely not going to pick one. They both have value. Question number 107. What was your most favorite gun you ever got the chance to fire while serving? So I'm going to I'm going to cheat on my rules here, but by far, I have a clip that I'm probably going to be playing over this audio of me shooting, what was it called? It's just a 50 cal machine gun. These are the 50 cals that they mount on Humvees and whatnot, and it was just so baller to shoot this thing. If you're still watching the video, then you can see all of the brass that was just spraying out of the weapon. It was insane. I actually got to go shoot this just a couple months before I left the Air Force. It was kind of like a go have fun at the range, and I shot all sorts of weapons that day, but the 50 cal machine gun was definitely the best. Next question, number 16. What is your age? 27, I already said that. And the generation of processor, does the generation of processor matter or not in gaming performance? Obviously it does. If you have newer generations or at the same budget, newer generations are going to most likely perform better than older generations. But maybe to answer your question a little bit better is, don't buy AMD older generation. If you want to go older generation, I really recommend only going with Intel. Those super old like Athlon chips and like the FX series chips, they're just not worth it anymore. You can get so much more value on Intel for those budget level CPUs. So I really recommend that. But like, yeah, I mean, of course the generation of CPU matters. Next question is number 82. What's your full-time job? Ever see transitioning to just YouTube? This is pretty funny because I just had a conversation with my boss the other day about it. Right now, I am in IT. I am part of the IT department for a small business. It's like 100 people. And I basically do everything in IT, which I really like. Since if any of you guys know what I'm talking about, when you work for a small business, you don't have specific people like we did in the Air Force, how this guy configures the servers, this guy configures the switches, this guy is help desk. You don't have that. You do everything. So on a day-to-day basis, I'll unlock accounts because people type their password wrong. I'll burn CDs and I'll build a server in the same day. So I extremely like that job. This type of environment would honestly be a dream job for me if it wasn't for YouTube. But I obviously really like YouTube too, so I'm trying to find the balance between the two. I really like what I do during the day, and I really love what I do at night for the YouTube games. So I am thinking about if the transition would be possible. The finances are starting to come in for YouTube. Thank you guys very much. Thank you for continuing to use all those links down in the description. But yeah, we shall see. Next up is number 44. Can you make a $400 gaming PC video? That's a great question. I've literally never made a $400 gaming PC. I've made multiple $300, $350, and multiple $500 gaming PC builds. I don't know why I haven't done 400. So yes, I will do that. 76. What are your thoughts on the GTX 1060 3GB model in 2019? Is it dead? It is certainly not dead. You're gonna get me fired up here. People are completely overreacting that 3GB of VRAM is not enough. Now, I'm 100% on board that more and more of these new games are starting to utilize a lot more VRAM. It's crazy how fast developers are starting to utilize that more and more VRAM. But GTX 1060 3GB will not be dead anytime soon. People are asking questions like this, and they're saying that 3GB of VRAM is obsolete. People are saying 4GB of VRAM is obsolete, and it's just ridiculous. Tons of you have been commenting things like that in my comment section, and God, I still got the volume up. This type of hardware doesn't go obsolete anytime like super fast. I'm still including GTX 750 Ti's with 2 gigabytes of VRAM in my building videos and benchmarking videos. So no, it's definitely not dead, but I actually am surprised how much VRAM is being used in just like the last couple of months. Question number 33. In my area, SSD 500 gigabyte and HDD 1 terabyte are priced closely. Do you think I should prioritize the SSD in my budget build? So a 500 gigabyte and a 1 terabyte drive priced the same. It really depends on what you're doing with the PC. If you're straight up gaming, then that's still tough. But I think I would recommend just the 500 gigabyte SSD. If you have a bunch of family photos and whatnot that you really want to store on your PC, then you're probably going to want to get that 1 terabyte and then upgrade to an SSD later. But if you just want your games to run fast and you're not sitting on a lot of media and you just have games that are taking up the space, then just go with an SSD for now and then you can add to it later. Question 35. Where are you living right now? Right now I'm in New Jersey. New Jersey was my last base that I was stationed at with the Air Force, so I kind of just stayed here for the time being. And I'm actually from Pennsylvania, so I'm really close to home. Question 22. What got you into building PCs? I already answered that. Mine was when I was building a golf simulator in my garage and needed a good PC to run the graphics. All right, so I kind of already answered how I got into PCs. Building PCs, the same question, or the same answer as how I got into PC gaming, just my parents' business for PC consulting. Question number 15. Halo just got on PC. Any thoughts and memories of playing Halo or any old game? I am super excited for Halo to be on PC. I am insanely excited that's going to be on Steam, but this is like 3-week-old news now at this point, so I'm pretty sure we're all feeling the same. I definitely have some really good memories of playing Halo 2. I was probably like 13 or 14 years old maybe, and we would all try to make our voice sound deeper, and so we could join the 18 plus like super competitive Halo 2 clans. And I remember just like building my way up the ranks, because the Halo 2 skill, your level was based off of pure skill and winning games. So it was super fun to climb up that. I didn't really ever get too high, but yeah, I have a lot of Halo 2 memories. Those are the good old days when I didn't have responsibilities, a job, and all that. Question number 114. What was your favorite moment in life? Why? That's ridiculous. That's way too hard of a question to answer without editing this video. Favorite moment in my life? Should I say getting married? Maybe. We did get married in Hawaii back in 2012. So, I mean, that was a great moment. Favorite moments were also getting these 2 dogs that are sitting right next to me that you guys can't see. I don't know. That's too hard of a question to answer on camera like this. Should have prepared. Question number 52. I'm planning on starting a YouTube channel. Should I put the money up for a budget DSLR, Canon T6i, or use my phone or iPad? That's a tough question because I don't know how much money you have, how much a T6i costs where you live. I would really recommend making videos on a T6i instead of your iPhone, or especially, you definitely don't want to make videos on an iPad, but I'm sure you've seen from some humble YouTubers that, oh, you should just make content on whatever camera you got. And that's just, I don't want to stop you from being creative. If you just want to be creative and start throwing videos out there, go ahead. Like, that's awesome. But if you want to grow on YouTube, especially in the tech world, did you say? No, you just said you're starting a YouTube channel, so I don't know. But if you want to be in the tech YouTube channel or YouTube world, you got to spend money on production. You need your sets and your lights and your microphone. It needs to sound good. It needs to look good, because there's just too many tech channels out there that you're going to compete with, and you're not going to get the views. Like, even if someone's a really good reviewer, I'm most likely not even going to click on their thumbnail unless if it looks clean. And especially when I watch their video, if their audio sounds bad and if their video doesn't look good, I'm not going to watch it. But I don't want to stop you from being creative. Definitely go out there and create if you want to. But if you want to take it seriously, then I would really recommend waiting until you can get the T6i. Question number 32. Do you think a GTX 1050 2GB is better than a GTX 770 2GB? Just curious. I don't know that off the top of my head. I would imagine that's pretty close. The 770 might indeed be a little bit faster. I don't know. I mean, I could look it up, but I'll take this time to answer this question permanently. If you guys are debating about one GPU versus another GPU, Google it. You guys always post this comment in my comment section, and if you just copied and pasted that question into Google, you will find your answer. Look up one of those websites like 3D Mark. They post the results for every single graphics card, or Passmark. They post the results for every graphics card, and you can see side by side what. I'll just do it right now. Okay, GTX 1050 versus GTX 770. Okay, so we'll go to user benchmark. Now this isn't always like 100% accurate, but the results are what I initially thought. It's roughly neck and neck. The 1050 Ti or the 1050 looks like it's slightly beating it, but it is neck and neck. So just Google that question. I don't mind if you guys are asking me questions, but like if you guys are waiting on an answer from me, I really feel bad when you could have just Googled it yourself. But in terms of this specific question, I would definitely get the 1050. I was gonna say even if the 770 beat it by a little bit, even in some games it still might, I'd still get the 1050 just because it's way more new, and you'll get driver support for way longer and whatnot. So yeah, just Google it. Question 7. What's your favorite graphics card of all time? Wow, that's a tough one. I honestly might go with this. This is the GTX 980 MSI, and the reason why I say this is my favorite is because this is the first high-end graphics card that I ever bought myself. Now, I've been building PCs since I was a little kid, and I always had like very budget hardware, just like a lot of you viewers are, but this is the first card that I ever paid for new, and it was super high-end. This was like right before the 980 Ti came out, I think. So this was like pretty much the top of the line, other than like the stupid expensive cards. But I bought this as a reward from coming home from my deployment from Afghanistan. So a lot of people like to blow their money on cars and whatnot after they get home from a military deployment. And I ended up building a pretty baller PC. It came with that GTX 980 and it came with a 4790K. And that would I'm not really attached to any graphics card. My 2080 Ti is pretty baller, but yeah, I'm not. Maybe that's probably my favorite. Next question is 91. What was your first GPU ever? Speaking of which, so I remember when I didn't have a graphics card at the time, and I was using onboard graphics. This was in the 90s, late 90s when I was a kid, and I remember searching like used bins full of graphics cards. And I just wanted to find a graphics card with 32 megabytes of VRAM. That's all I wanted, because I think it was like The Sims 3 couldn't play unless you had 32 gigabytes of VRAM, something like that. I forget what it was. But yeah, 32 megabytes. Did I say gigabytes? 32 megabytes of VRAM. So I have no idea what model it was, but I eventually did find one for like $40 or something. I forget. But yeah, that's as far back as I can remember. And this will be our last question because it has been 20 minutes. This is question number 28. Hopefully it's a good one. What is your favorite thing about your YouTube channel? All right, great question. My favorite thing about my YouTube channel is it gives me an excuse to work. It gives me an excuse to be busy. When I was a kid, I would come home from school, and even as in the Air Force, before I started my YouTube channel, I would go home and I was always craving something to keep me working, and I never knew what it was. I tried to make money as a kid. Like I started like a lemonade stand business, a dog walking business, a couch flipping business. I kept doing all these things that I could put effort into, but I just never found what I wanted to do. So Griffin, you're moving my mic. Yeah, so by far my favorite thing about my YouTube channel is it just gives me a reason to work. I can come home at 4 o'clock and just work till midnight if I want to, and I just love it. I love having a reason to stay busy. I love having something to put all this effort and energy that I have into, and I'm just grateful that YouTube is paying me back and giving me a reason to keep moving forward from all your comments. And when I ask you guys for questions, you give me 116 questions within a couple hours so I can make videos like this. and it's just super motivating. I love that I can pour all of this effort and ambition into something, and it's this YouTube channel. So that was a great question to end on. I hope you guys enjoyed this unscripted, unedited Q&A. Make sure you guys drop a comment down below if you want to see more videos like this. I have a lot more questions to go over, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. After you leave that comment, feel free to head on over to one of these 2 videos if you haven't seen them yet, and definitely hit that subscribe button, because coming up next, what are we doing? I think I'm building a PC. You don't want to miss that video.